Jerry did bring up nepotism. And wondering if it was a bit
something
of
I
nepotism.
wish I could use.
It was a bit wondering if it was a. We all wish, but she was wondering if it was a bit of nepotism that brought us Love Lies Bleeding and certain people from Love Lies Bleeding, Kirsten Stewart, and all that stuff. And it got me thinking of nepotism in the industry overall, and nepotism as it relates to Lisa Bonet. I don't know why I chose Lisa Bonet. Okay, she is just the woman
power,
that's
the power she has held in her hand.
She just came to mind, like, hey, how you
she
doing?
broke Lenny,
right?
She rose and broke that
then
man.
She didn't break Lenny. She gave Lenny some of his best shit. Okay.
Oh no, she raised him up, and then
definitely did lift him up.
Yeah.
But when you talk about like people being able to choose good products or projects, good producers, she is a woman that's just able to choose good men. Like, I honestly credit her with reviving Lenny Kravitz's career and giving Jason Momoa purpose and just giving Zoe Kravitz that essence of that it girl essence. Do you know what I mean? The it girl for the ages.
That mystique-ish.
Nepotism herself, but she spawned nepotism in her womb, and I think
she fostered it.
Lots of credit for that.
I mean, yeah,
but that's a lot of Hollywood. Like, how far back do you want to go here in regards to nepotism? Like, George Clooney falls under nepotism. Nicolas Cage falls under nepotism. Jen Aniston falls under nepotism. Like, how far do you want to go back here? Because we've been doing this for like 80 years. We've been breeding stars.
Let's go, girl. You sound like you want to go. Let's go. Do you know what
I mean? Like, we can go
back. Some of that cake. Give me some of that cane.
You know what I mean? We can go back to Liza Minnelli. Liza Minnelli is technically nepotism. Her mother's Judy Garland. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Liza
absolutely.
Minnelli? Who's her mama?
Judy Garland.
Who's Liza Minnelli? What? Judy Garland?
Yes.
Yeah. The whole time. The whole time.
Her dad's famous too. I can't remember off the top of my head who
Sarah.
I didn't. Yeah, y'all. I mean, like Timothée Chalamet. You know what I mean?
Liza
Sophia
Minnelli
Richie,
looks
Nicole
nothing
Richie.
like Julie. Liza Minnelli looks nothing like her mother.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like we've been doing nepotism a long ass time. Like, that's just kind of the business of Hollywood. Carrie Fisher.
Right, but when does it work? When does it work?
A lot. I think a lot of our, if you like, we just listed off like probably half of Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
No, but
it works for it.
No, but when does it work? And when does it work? Like, these people are actually good, and they're not just riding off of their parents' coattails. And if their parents weren't who they were, they would have still got jobs in the industry.
When are they a hard question to answer? If you're
Or is it just nepotism that we're relying on?
Drew Barrymore is another example. You know what I mean? Drew Barrymore was like at parties at 9 years old. You know what I mean? If you've ever like read her backstory, like it's really tragic in regards to being brought up by Hollywood and having like famous Hollywood parents. So I think that like everybody grows up different. Willow and Jaden Smith are another great example of like nepotism. You know what I mean? You just grow up different. There are a different set of rules that you play by growing up with parents that are famous, and you learn different things.
But also, nowadays we're getting into the generation of people of color's kids finally get to have their shot now too, which is not a thing in the past. Like Ice Cube's kid O'Shea, what was his name? O'Shea Jackson, when he played his dad in Straight Outta Compton, Ice Cube made him audition for that role. He didn't just give it to him, but even Ice Cube was saying, like, yeah, now it's our turn to help our kids and have some lineage and have some nepos, whatever, and we're gonna take that shot. And I'm like, okay, I'm for it.
Denzel Washington's kid, same thing. You know what I mean? Like, he was just he went to John David did his thing. Buddies.
Yes, John David did his thing, and then yes, we have Tracy Ellis Ross, and of course, okay, I feel like they worked, and they would work if their parents weren't who they were, but certain people may have never gotten the chance if her parents weren't who they were. And I'm going to give that to Angelina Jolie.
Oh, yeah. Angelina Jolie, yeah.
I mean, she's great. I love her work. I think she is an amazing actress and director. But would she have gotten the start that she had gotten if her father wasn't who he was?
Wasn't John Boyd? I mean? Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think that's the case with everybody. It's right place, right time. That's so much of Hollywood. At any given time, only 2% of actors are working. Like, that's just the odds. That's just the shot. You want as many doors open as you possibly can. You happen to have parents that open those doors. It's the same thing. I mean, like, you can look, nepotism doesn't just exist in our industry. Like, if you want to go over and, like, look at Korea, you can look at, like, Samsung. Samsung is, like, the definition of nepotism. You know what I mean? You want to get into, like the nepotism babies that come through there and, like, how that's all worked out. You know what I mean? Like, this is not an oddity. We just happen to be very public and forward facing about it. But, like, nepotism
we just get to see it. We just get to see him on screen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. But, like, we're in the business of creating stars.
We are in the business of creating stars, and we're also in the business of giving people opportunities. And I mean, but these people have gotten the same opportunities if they didn't call their parents names all the time. There's a lot of people that refuse to say that my parents is so and so because they're like, number one, they don't want to be categorized as somebody who had to name drop in order to get a job. And then number two, they don't want to be in their parents' shadow. And, like, do you give those people more respect? Like, not just actors, but directors, writers. Do you give them more respect because they're like, no, I'm going to come up in a different way? Or do you say, well, the fact that you did that and you still made it up, that's great, but we're still going to call you by your parents. We're still going to call you by your parents' names, or we're still going to keep your parents as a topic of conversation when we mention you because they are who they are.
It depends if you change the name or not.
Movie, you know what I mean? Yeah. After you make your first movie, you know what I mean? That's you. You're done. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
either you did a good job or you didn't.
Yeah.
That's your test.
Are you a Colin Hanks or are you a Chet Hanks?
Chet.
Yes.
Like I said, sometimes Nepo doesn't always work out.
No, what do you mean it didn't always work out?
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes
he had us for a minute. Chet had us. How do you mean?
For a hot minute, and then he walked in the room and he opened his mouth and that's where it ended. Yeah, that's why it's like, same thing with what is it? What's the old saying? A pretty face is nice, but it only works for 2 minutes, and then you have to start talking, and that's when that's when you got to step up or step out.
And then Chet's face,
Yeah, exactly. Calling up or Chet out.
The one actor I will say that didn't get the career that her mother got was Mamie Gunther. She's great. I think she's probably on the level of her mother's acting when we talk about her, but she doesn't have Meryl's career. It feels like it's harder for her to get roles, and I kind of feel like
I just feel like nepotism worked in that case. Meryl's career. You know what I mean? Meryl got told. Meryl Streep got told constantly in her early days that, like, she wasn't going to work. She got told all the time in her early 30s when she walked into auditions that she wasn't pretty enough, that she wasn't the right size, the right weight, the right look. She has, like, tons of stories about talking about, like, going home on the subway that she wasn't the right fit for all these things. So again, like, just young, just early in their career. Yeah. And most of Meryl's best work has been later in her life, later in her career.
And then just stuck it out, I don't
know. I mean, I might give you that one. Perseverance might be it, and she may get that one breakthrough role, that one breakout role that gives her the credit that she deserves. But you would think the fact that she would be fast-tracked off the fact that she is Meryl Streep's daughter. And she is an incredible actress herself. That is an example, I think, of nepotism just not working in the industry. Like, it just didn't kickstart with her. And that's not, I mean, like, why didn't she receive that same type of privilege,
I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I haven't seen any of her films. So I couldn't tell you if she's worth her weight in salt or not.
She is worth her weight. I'm saying that I've seen her in TV. I've seen her in a couple of films. She's done a couple of she's done a couple of roles, mainly in TV. But she has done some film roles, and I'm just like, come on. You have chops. Just push her.
She just needs to find a role. She needs to find that role. She needs to find her own Love Lies Bleeding, and just really pave her own direction.
Right? Like you're trying, like especially right out of the gate, you're trying to play middle of the road. You're trying not to do too much. You're trying not to typecast yourself. You're trying not to like, you know what I mean? Get yourself in a place where you're like only gonna get picked for that role, which happens to actors. You know what I mean? Like in The Office. Like the actor that plays Dwight Schrute on The Office, like quite literally pitched himself in a role so well that he's had a hard time working since. Yeah, Rainn Wilson.
To the point where he's fighting for people to call him Rainn Wilson. Because he's going on Dwight. Yeah,
absolutely.
Which, by the way, Rainn Wilson has some good movies. Poor guy.
He's incredible. He's incredibly talented. But that, you know what I mean? If you do something so well, people are only going to see you one way. It's why we call it typecasting. And there's why it's just like you could write to an actor's agent and be like, hey, I would love to see you in a different role, and I have this short film. I can pay you X amount of money to do this thing. I'm looking at this, and this for distribution. And most of the time they'll take it because they want to break out of their typecasting. You know what I mean? That's for indie filmmakers. Those of you that are indie filmmakers, that's a great tip. If you really love an actor, look at what they're good at, and then look at what they've never done, and then write something for them that they've never done. And odds are, for like a specific amount of money and for being put up for trouble, you can get them in your movie.
Give an actor a chance at something different. Every actor like that has been shoehorned this way wants to try to go that way. Give them that shot, they'll take it.
And a lot of people deserve the shot, regardless of who their parents are, or just like this. You know, that's a conversation that comes up all too often. In a couple of years, the topic was hot, and it's just like don't, like Sarah said, don't pigeonhole people based on who their parents are or the type of the roles that they play. I mean, they could offer so much more. You don't know if they're offering that much more, but since we already know about them, just put them up there and let me see if it works out. And if it doesn't work out, well, that's fine. Maybe they don't have their parents' skill.